This episode of How Was Your Run Today was recorded at the WGBH studio at the Boston Public Library, steps away from the finish line of the historic Boston Marathon.
Brian, before we start the show, let's thank our sponsors. Are you looking for a unique way to explore a new city and you want to stay fit and have fun at the same time?
Yes.
You can join the team at City Running Tours and sweat and sightsee on a guided running tour. Brian, they're located in 14 cities across North America. The City Running Tours team is passionate about their city and love to explore it through running. Join one of their scheduled routes or customize your own personal running experience. These sweat and sightsee tours are the ideal way to discover iconic neighborhoods and find secret and hidden treasures of any city. Julie from Calgary said,
"This was the best part of my trip. I learned so much about the city. I felt like I was running with an old friend."
That's like a dramatic reading, Brian. That was very impressive. I appreciate you. These tours are also a natural fit for your next corporate or social event, or you're a business traveler fitting in a run in your busy schedule, or just looking for a fun and social experience with other runners. Just join City Running Tours and experience the city with the satisfaction and reward of getting your miles in and feeling like yourself. Visit cityrunningtours.com. That's cityrunningtours.com to book your city running tour today. Plus, you can now use coupon code HWYRT and receive 10% off your next tour. City Running Tours is a proud member of runningtours.net, a positive resource for the running tours community worldwide.
Peter, are you looking to increase your training, the professionalism of your training, the quality of your training, the amount of your training?
I was just talking about how I have to up my training.
I'll tell you how to up your training. You go to EndeavorRun.com. That's ENDEAVORUN. EndeavorRun. .com. This is combining the key elements of a pro-style season.
Yes.
Such as personalized training for any race from a 5K to a marathon. Nutrition plans, a team retreat at the University of Oregon.
That's a famous university.
Yeah, it is. Ongoing virtual events and support, VIP race experience in Las Vegas, and you journey together as a team. So you meet these people at the University of Oregon retreat.
Yeah.
You're then training in your hometown and doing all your stuff, and then you guys come back together for another race. So that accountability, that team feeling.
That bonding.
Yeah, so it is going to feel like you are a almost professional runner, even if you're as slow as I am.
Talk to me about this. How do I sign up?
First, I need to tell you that runners from anywhere and of all abilities can join no matter how fast, as I was saying.
And I'll take that.
The only requirement is that you want to take your running season seriously next year. Now, the best way to find out about this
Talk to me.
is to look up Endeavor Run, EndeavorRun.com, and there's a 2-minute video on the homepage. Just watch that.
All the details are right there in that video.
Yeah, you're going to get psyched. And then, because you're going to decide to sign up,
yes,
you use the code MILE, M-I-L-E.
Got it.
For free shoes.
Wait, they're just going to give me a pair of running shoes?
Free running shoes.
Like what kind?
Like all the ones you want, including those Vaporflies.
What?
Yeah. The first 50 registrants are guaranteed single occupancy at the Oregon retreat, meaning your own room, if you didn't know what that meant.
I need some space.
Okay, listen, there's only 120 spots. This is
so
super
people have
limited.
To do this. This is the thing.
You're on a team with 120 people, professional training. Do it. EndeavorRun.com.
And hurry up, because now we're talking about it.
That's EndeavorRun.com.
Come on, break.
Hey, Peter, how was your run today?
Well, I literally ran here to the BPL studio, the WGBH studio at the Boston Public Library. I did a 5. I ran up and down the Esplanade. It's gorgeous. It was a little on the cold side, but not so cold that I didn't wear shorts, and I felt good about it. I did have to start with a pair of gloves on. Social media guru Anna Brooks had given me the heads up by text that it was warmer out in the sun than you thought, even though the degrees were in the 39-40 range. But yeah, it was gorgeous. There were a lot of people out there. I'll say something about the Esplanade in general. it really reminds me how not fit I am. I mean, there's varying degrees of people's fitness out there, but I just feel terrible next to everybody else.
I'm going to give you the opposite experience. I know you didn't ask, but I chose very specifically to do my run today on a trail, single track trail in the woods where I knew I would see absolutely
So you were the fittest person on that trail.
People.
You were the fittest one right there.
I saw cows.
Yeah, so you
I
were
saw horses.
Yep.
Saw a lot of leaves.
The horses might have been more fit.
Yeah, but they weren't doing anything. They were just
True.
They even had coats on. Their blankets, you know.
Yeah, they were better dressed than you were, probably.
Well, that's true. I didn't see anybody.
All I did was see...
I didn't even go to the Battle Road, which is my go-to weekend run, because I didn't want to see the Harvard Track Club running past me.
I watched the Northeastern sculling team out there, and they were all super in shape. They had fans on one of the bridges screaming in support of them. I think there might have been a small regatta or some sort of thing happening. Every one of the fans on the bridge were in better shape than I was. I saw dogs in better shape than I was. There was an old man having a medical event near the boathouse past the Esplanade, past the clamshell there, the half shell. He was in better shape. The paramedics helping him, in better shape. I felt terrible, and I did my 5, and then I came here, and we just had a wonderful interview with our good friend Pattie Hines McNally of Millinocket fame.
Native of Millinocket.
She's a native.
Yeah.
Which I think I knew that, but I don't really think I knew that.
And she's also the person behind the social media presence that is Run Millinocket.
Right, what so many people think of as the Millinocket Marathon because they're experiencing it through social media.
Yeah.
That's really her. She's
Pattie.
doing all that. She's been a huge supporter of us and the show, and she sat with us, and we're going to talk to her in just a few minutes to find out more about the race itself, the history of it, and also a little bit about what she does in the real world when the race isn't happening. She was also a hockey player. Do you know that?
I do now.
Yeah, you do. And she brought us a gift that you'll hear all about. I don't want to ruin it, but it's a wonderful gift, and we're very thankful. Brian, what's the rest of the plan? Are you going to run tomorrow again? Are you doing anything special?
I might do a little run tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you anything about what my plans are for tomorrow. I will tell you this. My run today was so difficult. It was only 8. I didn't run a 10. It was only 8, but I ran 10 last week. And now, it was a hard trail, but it's one I've done before. This is how I described it to someone else. It was like the last 8 miles of your last 20-miler at the end of marathon training.
Yeah.
Like, I had nothing left.
Yeah.
All I could think about was wanting to walk.
Yeah.
Every time there was a slight incline, I did walk.
Yes.
And I just wanted to be done. And I was like, if there is like a woods Uber, or a wilderness lift, I would have called. My phone also was dead. It was bizarre. Anyway, it hurt. It was a hard one. It was a hard one. I didn't have it.
Yeah, my 5 was not great. At one point, I stretched against a bench to loosen up my hams, and the bench was empty, and I thought about, is it bad to lay down?
No.
In the middle, like on mile 3 of a 5.
Well,
is it okay to lay down?
You might want to wait till the run's over.
We also have with us today, after we listened to Pattie, a bunch of people stopped by today just randomly.
Yeah. Well, you put the call out.
We did put the call out, and people answered the call, and we appreciate that because HWYRTians know the scoop. They know the dealio, drillio, the bit.
They came by to support, to watch, to listen, and to come on mic. And so we're going to hear from the people who came to the show today.
And there may have even been a surprise visit, shocking to everyone, by Mr. Lance Mallory, which was weird. We didn't think he'd be here today.
Yeah, some of us wish he wasn't. It's fine.
It was weird because he actually has been barred from the Boston Public Library.
Yeah, I don't know how he got it.
Yeah, he's not allowed. He can use the services online, but he's not supposed to come into the facility. So that was weird.
Lance.
Oh, Lance.
Okay, let's talk to Pattie.
Let's go talk to Pattie.
So what's happening?
When you're not the linchpin for Millinocket, what do you do?
I work for my husband.
What does he do?
Accident reconstruction.
I knew this. Okay.
This is the most fascinating job on the planet, I think.
Can we ever help?
Can you ever help?
Yeah, because we would love to go and be like, if you need like...
Well, there's so many accidents that happened in this area. He's usually in this area most of the time.
Because that would be a really cool gig, just to be told to just sit like this.
Oh, well,
no,
don't do that.
You don't.
Oh, you don't
no,
do
it's
that?
not reconstruction like reenacting.
Yeah. Well.
You don't-
Yeah. No.
Well,
you
is
don't
it?
go lie down in the road as if you're
Take
the victim.
measurements.
You don't do that?
So you survey the road.
Yes.
So
And you look at where the intersection is, and you figure out this, and you figure out that.
yeah, measurements, where the final rest position, if it was a pedestrian case, where the final rest came,
Yeah.
where the vehicle stopped. Hopefully,
And
they
then
took
you actually
photos.
have us get in cars, and we would do it.
no.
Oh, see, that's what I want. That's
This may
stunt
not be
work,
as
right?
exciting as you think it might be.
Yeah, it's not stunt
Testing
work.
is cool.
It's
Is it
not
like holding
reconstruction.
yarn from here to here?
Yarn?
Yeah, where the bullet went. The
They use
angle of
they
the-
use lasers, buddy.
Do you use
Survey
lasers?
equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In any case, you were saying there's dash cams involved in some cars.
Some vehicles
there's
have dash cams now.
GPS.
Yeah.
There's all
GPS.
kinds of stuff. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not.
black boxes.
Who has black boxes?
Almost all the vehicles do.
Like professional
No.
trucking.
Every
Wait,
vehicle.
my car?
What do you have for a vehicle?
I have a Toyota Highlander.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
What
definitely
year?
does.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
of
a
course it
black
does.
box in there?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's when they plug you in at the annual inspection.
No.
No.
All that stuff.
No, it's
No.
another box. So it's hooked to your, well, they all show different readings.
Right.
Some will show so many seconds before an impact. It'll
So it's
show if you have
giving
your
me-
seatbelt on. If it has a rollover sensor, it can. There's a
Really?
lot. Yeah.
Wait, every modern car that's out there, or most of them, have a black box in there
E-
that assists you or others in accident reconstruction.
Yeah. Most vehicles do. Yeah.
I don't think the general population has any idea.
Are we allowed to
No,
talk
it's
about that?
it's out there more than.
Really?
Does my
So,
does
I'm
my
just a moron.
2002 Forester have that?
No, it can't.
For
Subaru Forester.
Subaru Forester.
2002.
Subaru's a little bit harder to down. Ford has been covered for many years.
Toyota.
Toyota, yeah. Subaru,
Maybe not.
they do. It's a little bit different to download
Okay.
that one.
This is a serious question. What is the reasoning behind the manufacturers putting them in? Is that
I just know what we can
is
do.
it a requirement?
I have to ask my husband.
Like, is there a federal requirement that they have them in there, or do they do it to cover themselves, or is it just data for them to know how to build better cars? I don't know. This is amazing.
Yeah,
This is amazing.
helps with reconstruction.
Do you enjoy it?
I just set the cases up and go along when you want some company. So I kind of see everything, and then
Have you found that you're a better or a more defensive driver than you ever were before?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or do you drive on the highway or around the city when you come down to Boston or anywhere and just
I don't drive in the city.
drive with the
No,
but
Not
are you
interested.
are you just with like a your face is just like amazement
worst.
as you're watching people doing what they're doing?
Oh yeah. Oh, that's why Bruce drove me down here today. I don't do this traffic. I can't. I'm not an aggressive driver.
Yeah.
I'm very passive, so
Yeah.
I'd just be like, "Oh, go ahead."
Right. But do you think you're even more passive because of the things that you've seen in accident reconstruction? Has that affected you as a driver?
Yeah.
Has it
It
affected
makes you more aware of
Sure.
stuff out there. It makes you buckle up.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, it's
What's the most common thing you see in cross accidents? Like, is it always speed, or is it recklessness? Is it
it could inattention.
it's inattention?
Sometimes it really depends on.
Yeah.
It's just so
I
much.
heard a statistic the other day which had to do with people who are lack of sleep. So people who are sleeping like less
Yeah.
than 7 hours a night are, I don't know what the number was, what the number was, but it was like so much more likely to have a car accident at some point than people who are
Oh
getting.
yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but when you think about most people are
And that's
walking around in
yeah.
life
Yeah.
under not sleeping enough, that most of us are.
Because it hits
Critic-
that perception reaction.
Yeah.
So you don't perceive stuff as quickly as.
Okay, which side of the road should we run on if we choose to run on a road? Facing traffic or with the traffic?
Against traffic.
Thank you.
Well, I always do that because I want to just be over. I want to see it coming and I want it to be quick.
Right?
Yeah. I don't want to get caught unaware. Like, oh, what was that? And then have it end. I want to see. Oh yeah, that's it. I want to know. I need to know just before it happens.
All right, we're not going to grill you on this too much longer, but I do have another question. This, I've noticed a change in myself. I've always been a very defensive driver. I have not necessarily been an aggressive driver. But a thing has changed, and I think it has to do with age and my eyes and, frankly, how much I like to sleep and when I like to sleep. But I used to go on long car trips. I'd leave at 9, 10 o'clock at night and drive through the night because less cars on the road. Mostly it's big trucks, and they, seem to know what they're doing. And you have the road to yourself for the most part, and I used to love it. I can't do that anymore. I can't stay up through the night. But also I've noticed, and I used to, when I would play in bands and we'd be out at gigs till like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, coming home, I would invariably see accidents, like almost every time. Now, these are Friday nights, Saturday nights, but like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, you're going to see a car accident if you're on the road for half an hour, especially, in a metropolitan area.
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazing that I could just, I'm coming home from a gig and
I'll see a thing.
There's another car accident.
Yeah.
And some of them were fender benders, some of them were horrible.
Yeah.
And so, do you find that a lot of the accidents that you're working on are happening during the day or at night? Or am I just crazy that I have just decided not to drive in the middle of the night anymore?
Ones that we get, mostly during the day.
Really?
Yeah.
Like commuter kind of things?
Oh, it's all over the place.
It's all over the place?
It's, you can't pinpoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, we shouldn't drive at all.
No, you should run. You should run everywhere.
All right, well,
All right.
That's a good turning point.
Let's run.
Let's talk about running.
Patty, how did you start running?
How did I start running?
Yeah, what
One foot in front of the other.
When did you what happened?
What happened? I started running to stay in shape for hockey.
So your hockey player was first.
Hockey plays first, yes.
From what age?
Growing up, my family was all hockey. My dad was the president of the Youth Hockey Association, so we all played. So growing up, I played defense.
And you were born and raised where?
Millinocket.
Get out.
Yeah.
We know that place. Millinocket, Maine. Okay, so hockey was your thing.
Hockey was a thing. I stopped playing for a few years. I started playing again in high school because they needed a goalie.
Were you always a goalie? Or were you
No,
utilitarian?
I played goalie in field hockey, and then they needed a backup goalie, and I played with most of the guys on the team anyways, because we were a hockey family. We traveled every weekend, and so I played my junior, senior year goalie, backup goalie, and then left, got married, had kids, and then found out there's a women's league in my area, so started playing again.
Nice.
And I needed to get in shape to play, so I picked up the running, and then was actually hurt about 4 years ago and haven't played, but jumped back on the ice last week.
Hurt from hockey or from something else?
It was in a tournament in, what was it? Is it Fitchburg, Mass?
Yeah.
Yeah, Friday night got hurt my neck. So, yeah, got a stinger, so it went down. And then woke up Saturday, had no feeling, but we had 2 more games, so I played.
That's a hockey player right there.
Yeah.
I just said, don't pass me the puck. I can get in the way.
Yeah, I'll just block it. Don't worry.
Yeah, and then after that, I had issues, PT.
I can still use my legs. It's fine.
Yeah, I use my body to block.
Yeah.
But I was able to keep running.
So you use that as sort of a fitness balance.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Yeah, and then I had moments where I wanted to play again. So last week I jumped in and played a scrimmage.
Yeah.
So.
And then how did you're instrumental in the first running of the Millinocket Marathon. Can you talk a little bit about
Not the first one. I came in on the second one.
Oh, you really did?
I really did. I knew about the first one, and that happened to be that was the year it was supposed to be my first full marathon.
Right.
I was going to do MDI.
So is that 2016, the first year?
This is the 5th year, so 20, yeah.
So 15, 16,
15.
17, 18. Okay, 2015.
Yep.
First year. You know it's happening. You know Gary Allen's putting it together with 50 of his closest friends.
Yeah.
Essentially.
I was invited and was going to go out, and then just stuff was happening and didn't get up there. And then the next year, it's like, okay. And then, is it right after the first one, reached out to Gary and said, hey, you should have a Twitter and Instagram account. And he's like, all right, go ahead.
He loves that.
Oh, yeah. He's
He loves like, that's a great idea. You go do that.
Yeah.
But which is true. I mean,
yeah, if you mention anything to Gary,
he'll thumbs up it and then go for it.
Yeah.
Well, that was like us in that year too, where we said to we asked Tricia Sear, who's like the on the ground Millinocket marathon person, and we said, can we have like a table if we have T-shirts or whatever? She's like, of course you can.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who's gonna stop you?
Right.
Yeah.
And we're like,
no one's gonna.
Well, I don't know.
you.
I've never been to Millinocket. Like, I have no idea what's happening up there. She's like, you can do whatever you want. Who cares? Pattie, I have a question. So you grew up in Millinocket. What was it like growing up? You know, I think most of the people, or many of the people who have been up to the race or listening to this podcast and haven't been up there, only know it from the last 5 years in sort of this recent improbable resurgence that's happening right now. What was it like growing up?
I think it's like a lot of small town areas where the kids were out running or, playing till the streetlights went on type, or your parents were hollering. I mean, we were out all the time. In our area, nobody was around. Like, all the kids were out all the time.
Right. You weren't indoors. You weren't like, you would just
you
be out.
weren't.
You weren't allowed in the house.
Right?
No, there was no need. I mean, we'd come back and it was, we had mud on us or whatever, or we'd be up, whose camp we going up to. One of the differences I noticed when I moved away, and my kids were going to school, and the kids would talk about, doing their cars and this or that. And up our way, the shop they were building ice huts. You know, they were making gun racks.
So ice fishing and gun racks.
Yeah,
Okay.
or they talk about hunting or going hiking.
Yeah.
Or it was just a lot more outside activity. It wasn't
much
your
more
parents,
physical. Out. Yep.
Yeah, you could just go out and do it and be, Mom, I'm going away. I'm going to do this. It just seemed like everybody was outside.
Okay.
Or doing
and
stuff.
outside, I mean, Millinocket has, parks and streets and things like that, but you're also the gateway to Baxter State Park. So
Right.
you're out in real wilderness.
For me, it was always there. So,
So
we
you
would,
just- that is
so
what
it's
it is.
not like,
Right.
I'm like, all right, we worked up at the whitewater rafting place up there. A lot of people do. A lot of kids do. I actually worked at the radio station in high school.
Excellent.
You remember with top 40s and they come on a disc?
Yeah, of
You
course.
just popped them in, then you paused it and popped the 8-track commercial in. Yeah, it started as Goldie Oldies, and then it went to country. I was like,
So when did you move out of Millinocket?
after I graduated in 93, I was telling them I was a nanny in Wayland for a year.
Oh, that's right. There's a Wayland connection. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
the connection. Yep.
And was that radically different for you? We came down here and we're like,
Oh, yeah.
whoa.
Yeah, talk about
I had
suburbs.
to drive the kids to school. Like, it wasn't too far, so that was all right.
Yeah.
I'm not a city person.
Yeah.
I like to come visit, see it.
So it's a big deal that you came to the Boston Public Library right now. This is a big deal.
I love coming here.
Oh, you're okay with it?
I won't drive here.
That's why you ran here.
Sure, I ran.
So
Good job.
My husband opened the door. I jumped out and I ran.
ran
here.
across the sidewalk. So I assume that after you moved out is when the big mill in Millinocket closed.
It was on the decline
Okay.
already. It was, they closed, opened up for a little bit, and then it just closed.
So what was that like for? I mean, you had already moved out, but what was your reaction to that? What was it like for anybody that you still knew that lived in the area?
It was hard because it was the main job source for everybody. You graduated from high school for years and you had a job there. The hardest part was actually seeing it slowly come down over the past few years, where they started tearing it down, the stacks came down, because my house was right behind where the wood was stacked. So you slid down the hill and there's the wood yard.
Wow.
Every time we had people that come visit, family or whatever, we always went for a tour of the mill. Or it's sad, but with everything changing,
Yeah.
understandably, you're raising our kids, and everybody makes a phrase of, well, when I was younger, but with evolution of everything, you kind of have to adapt to what you have. And with that, you got to adapt and figure out
What's next?
where can you go with it there.
Yeah.
And the house I grew up in was torn down.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was,
That's rough.
yeah. But again, I still have the memories from there.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so, but I can still go home. I can still go there. It's not necessarily the physical thing that's there. It's being there.
So my impression the first time I went up there, and this is the mill was a paper mill. I mean,
Right.
this is what
Yeah.
Millinocket did. It collected the trees from the vast forests around Maine and made paper mills. And
Yeah.
as the internet and digital media increased and the need for paper went down,
Right.
they no longer had a business. And Millinocket is far from any other area,
Yeah.
right? So it made sense that the single employer, there was that factory was, or that mill was the single employer, and
Yeah.
Millinocket benefited from their profitability, frankly.
Yeah.
When I went up 4 years ago, I guess, for the first Millinocket Marathon, downtown was a little rougher than I expected. It really was. It was like, it looked like a movie set of a town that had been deserted
Yeah.
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
Like there was literally a grand opening sign on a bowling alley that had the roof had collapsed in, and I think the grand opening sign might have been 10 years old.
Right.
And I'm not sure it ever opened. I don't know what the story behind that was,
Yeah.
but it was like grand opening.
Well, they meant the roof is really open.
we're
wide.
We're opening to daylight hour.
Yes, we have the
bowling.
sky above us.
And it was rough. I mean, there was like a few stores on either end.
Yeah.
The Blue Ox and the Skutik Inn restaurant were there, and that was it. And over the last couple of years, there have been, and I've been, now I'm a little more interested in the community. I'm following events, and there's been sort of a resurgence, and there's even been a purchase of the mill building or the mill property or something like
Yeah.
that.
It was purchased.
Our Katahdin, I
Yeah.
think?
Was it 3 years? I lose track of time.
Yeah.
What day is it?
Well, so
like that,
my
like-
question to you is, was there a point when you said, this community is going to just sort of peter out, is not going to be around, or did you feel that there was always a seed of resurgence there?
There's always that seed. It's just, when's it going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
When's it going to come? And you can see, you guys have seen it over the past 4 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
It's almost slower, but it's taking the time and it's being done right.
Yeah. It's not a quick fix either.
It's
it
not.
Can't be.
And what you saw the first year is really what's happening all over the country in many areas.
Sure, yeah.
It's just in.
Yeah,
it's not
as-
much, it's
more and more industry either goes away or is put to other
Yeah.
countries for labor costs or because of tariffs or whatnot.
Yeah.
You're going to see this erosion
Yeah.
of entire towns and areas. And how does a place reinvent itself? The thing I've noticed, and I don't know what it will be like this year because it's been almost a year since we were there, but the kinds of businesses that were to move in to Main Street and the surrounding areas, what do you think it's the answer? Is it tech? Should tech come in there?
tech is starting to come in. I can't recall off the top of my
Or
head.
is it going to be all? Is it going to be
was
all
tech.
tourism ultimately? Is it all going to be?
I think it's going to be a mix because the tech is really, because you can work remotely.
Yeah.
For people that like to be in the outdoors and be in
Yeah.
that type of community and have access to, Baxter State Park, the Katahdin Waterway, you
Yeah.
know, it's perfect location
Yep.
for the
and
outdoor
owning a house is
person.
relatively cheap compared
yeah.
to this region.
I mean, I guess the prices has been going up because
Yeah.
the demand's been higher, but I mean, you could literally for a while buy a house for about $35,000.
Wow.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might
So
need
you-
a little update, but that's the price of a car.
Right.
And
To be honest, I actually can't buy a parking space in Brookline for that much money.
it's another reason.
I'm not
just
kidding.
saying.
I'm not kidding. It's like 3 times that. It's ridiculous. But that's to own it.
Right.
To own it.
To own it. That's a nice uncovered spot.
Does it come with a
outside.
car? Or do you just park your bike there?
No, you're not allowed to have a car. Yeah, you can only put bikes in it. That's what's fun. So you come on the second year of the marathon.
Yeah.
You're their social media guru, essentially.
Yeah.
You make that happen.
I try.
What's the biggest change in the race that you've seen over the couple of years that 3 years now, 4 coming to the 4th year that you're doing it? Certainly the size. It's gotten crazy.
It's the size, but the amount of, it's not necessarily changed, but the amount of people that have run it for several years that keep coming back
Yeah, it's crazy.
is just, you
I'm not going, Brian.
It does
It's
seem
too
like
nuts.
a
I'm
one
not
and
going.
done kind of event.
it does. I mean, the first year I ran it was the first year you guys
Yeah.
ran it. It was cold. That was probably the coldest.
I didn't run it.
That
He
was
ran it. I
brutal.
just stood outside in it.
Yeah, I won't run the Millinocket Marathon again.
And did you do the full or the half?
I did the half.
Yeah.
He did the full. Look at this. Look at the full.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was the coldest. I think someone just asked that on the support page. What was the warmest and what was the coldest time? Like the warmest was the very first year. I think it was 50.
Okay.
Oh, really?
It was,
Okay.
Oh, it was in the 50s.
That's nice.
That's why. And
Maybe
then
it'll
the
be like that
second
this
year,
year.
it was
Yeah.
It was
below
18.
zero.
It was like 0. It was 8.
and the wind and the headwind.
It was so cold.
It was
so
I'm
dumb.
still
It's
cold.
So dumb that you did that.
But when you were finished,
fantastic.
It was
but when
totally
you're
dumb.
finished, were you
Yeah.
not like, wow, that was like you had?
He's a champion. Look at him.
I
He's
actually
thought
had to
out.
be escorted into a trailer that had
To warm up.
a heat torch blowing like into the trailer.
It was like a jet engine just
I'm-
pointed right at your chest.
Yeah.
It was fun.
People were a little concerned.
We were all a little nervous.
I may have been the last person in from the marathon.
That's not true at all.
I'm sure I was.
Not even close.
It doesn't matter.
You did great.
What kind of requests or what kind of people have reached out to you that you haven't expected, or far-flung places or anything like that?
I don't necessarily. It's reach out, or it's like when you get tagged and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's when you really notice.
What surprised you?
What surprised us? I haven't read anything negative. Like
Yeah,
the
that's a
cold
really good point.
is negative,
Mm-hmm.
No,
but
that's-
everyone talks of it on a positive note,
Yeah.
which
That's,
You
no,
know,
it's like
I'm
that.
like-
You don't get that anywhere.
you don't.
Yeah, it's true.
You just don't. And
That's a
people
really
are
good
like,
point.
why don't you change it to a warmer time? You get more people, and
Why don't
that's
you move
just
the
common
race?
sense.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
why? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
the point of this race:
Right,
is you come
right.
in, and not to mention, it is during a difficult time of year because you have that in between of fall foliage just getting done. It's not quite snowmobile season yet, so you really have that empty time in there. That it's perfect to fill the hotels, the restaurants, or just whatever.
And I think that was Gary's initial intention, right?
It was
just
perfect
go up
timing.
and like little ghosts leave big tips
Yeah.
for the holiday season
Yeah.
and then disappear.
Yeah. And it's just to see the town full again, especially when we grew up and we had events or, this or that, it really is great to just see it full. And when you think of it, how many races have you gone to where you go, you run it, you stick around, enjoy the beer, free pizza, whatever, and then you leave? And I
Right.
think so many people end up meeting new people.
Yeah.
Making friendships or realizing, hey, you live near me. I just see so many more people enjoying. It's not just the race; it's meeting so many runners and other people.
Do you think that's part of? Well, clearly that's part of why people are coming back. But what makes that difference? Is it a free race? Is it that very few people who are running the race have ever been there before? You have to make your own fun. That like all of it is a sort of an adventure, right? Especially for the
The
first
ones that
timer.
have never done it, I think in their head, they have a lot more questions. Will there be water stops? Which, as we know,
Maybe
maybe.
they might be frozen.
Well, we have that surefire. Some stuff's not frozen.
Right.
The first year we were on, we had a lot of questions. Will there be outhouses? Will there be, bib pickup,
Bag drop off.
bag
That's a
drop
big one,
off,
yeah.
and stuff like that? And Gary, well, go ahead and organize it.
That's right, yeah.
You want that? Do it.
I think that's the biggest thing to get across is this race is not like any other race, as we know. It's a runner's race.
Yep.
And it's almost going back to the very start where you just went out and you ran.
Yeah, and
You
it's more-
don't. You
yeah.
when he says don't expect anything, you don't. Every year has changed on what is there, what is offered.
Yep.
It's constantly changing. It's not the same thing every year, and that's pretty much from runners bringing in different things. Whether they come back and it's the same thing, just in a different location, or it's something completely new. And you can't see that anywhere else.
Are you excited about anything this year? Anything particular? Is there anything new?
Yeah, is there anything different?
I'm actually looking at a product here sitting right next to us.
What's
Here-
that,
Yeah, this
Brian?
is something new. You brought
It's
2 cans of
shiny. Yes.
Baxter Brewing Company
Blue
Sea to
and
Summit.
green.
Of course, the Sea to Summit series is the Mount Desert Island Marathon and Half and the Millinocket Marathon and Half.
Correct.
That's the summit part
That's the
Yeah.
summit part, Mount Katahdin.
because
is
it's
a
so
mountain.
big.
Yeah. Good, Peter.
Thank you. I just got off a run. I'm tired.
Do you know do you know how this happened? Do you know what the story was behind this, or did you just pick these up in a local package store and bring them down to us.
Actually, it's my neighbor, but Gary and Baxter Brewing came up with it,
Okay.
and
More likely Baxter said, like, hey, Gary,
Yeah.
do you think we should make a beer? And Gary's probably like, yeah, go do that.
We go do that.
yeah, sure. But it really is the perfect pairing of.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, and then some of it goes towards Acadia, and then some to the Katahdin Trail. So I mean, it's really more than one thing. It's
It is a lager brewed with spruce tips.
which is
I don't even know what that is. Is that the tip of a spruce?
Yeah,
And blueberry. So
Very
got
Maine.
It's got
you
a
get
bit
very
of a-
slight hints of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had it? Is
You've
it good?
actually tasted it?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Other than that, I've been saving them, handing them out to the people that need it.
Where can we find them? Are they anywhere?
Will we be able to get them
Do we
there?
have to go to Gary's house
What
on Cranberry
happens?
Island?
Yeah, go knock on his door and ask him for
I don't
some.
think I'm
Can I
gonna
need
do that.
this? We they're getting him in Millinocket currently. They're
Okay.
starting to roll into the stores now because I know they've been placing the orders for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna check to see if it's gonna be on tap.
Yeah, that would
the
be nice.
Ox or across the street at the Scudic maybe, or up at
On tap?
I know.
Cut it out.
Yeah,
Can't handle it.
they're hard to find. I
Are
mean,
they?
I think MDI they sold out pretty quick.
Okay.
Collector's item.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make sure that whatever we can do to increase the supply is what we're gonna have to do over the next month.
I'll do anything because this is awesome. I actually want a shirt because that's an awesome logo.
I actually mentioned to Gary, I said, do you think they might have those extra stickers we could do bumper stickers
Yeah.
with?
Yeah.
Extra
No, but it's
printed?
really. Do you know?
It's a nice.
Any idea who designed the logo?
It looks a lot like the Sea to Summit medal.
It
I have to
does,
say,
yeah.
although it's a little more detailed.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it's very cool, and I had not anticipated it to be high cans. This is fascinating. I'm so excited right now. And you came all the way down here today just to bring us this beer?
I did.
Yeah,
Well,
2 beers.
That's very nice.
I was like, don't want them fighting over one.
Which
I'll give up another one.
Which
would
we
have.
would have.
We would have.
We would have done
Yeah.
that. How was your run today, Patty?
I ran down here. How's that?
That's good. That's good.
I didn't run today.
How was your run yesterday? How was your last run?
How's my last run? Rough.
Was it rough? Mental game tough or physically hard?
I'm still not back from whatever the experts can't diagnose on my legs. So
It takes a long time.
I think
It's awful.
I'm run walk now.
Yeah. No, it's hard.
It's
Are you participating in Millinocket?
I am
What are you running?
running the half.
The half. Smart.
What about the night? What about the night before? There's a little thing happening the night before.
Crankle 2K.
You'll be crankling, or you won't be crankling.
Depends on what I got going on that I got to take care of.
Wow,
But
she
I
seems so non-committal, Brian. Like
She's very
I
busy.
sign up for it.
I don't understand.
What are your responsibilities during the weekend of the Millinocket Marathon?
Yeah, walk us through that. It's Thursday.
Yeah, I get there Thursday so I can eat where I'd like to eat before
The
it
crowds,
gets.
because it does get crowded.
It does.
Literally overnight.
I pick up my girlfriends and we head up.
Because I'm sorry. What town are you in now?
Rochester, New Hampshire.
Oh, okay. So that's it's a bit of
about
a drive.
4-hour drive.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it's a real thing.
But we make stops on the way.
And you get up there on Thursday, and then do you go right to work, or you socialize first? How does it work?
The whole weekend socialization.
So
There's
true.
no work.
It's so
That's
true.
the thing. There's not really much work.
Your phone's with you all the time, fully
Oh, man,
charged.
yeah,
Extra
well,
battery.
Yeah, that's about the one thing. Except when I'm on the course, and that's one of the hardest things because I go up there with a group of friends and we stay at the house that we're staying at. Is I have that guilt of not replying to something
Sure.
or monitoring it because
Yeah.
one, if you don't, the notifications are just ridiculous, and I
yeah.
usually have to turn that off.
They all rack up,
on
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
But I try to monitor it without ignoring my friends.
Yeah.
But they also know what's going on there because I'll usually just give them my truck and then I can just go and be wherever I need to be. And more, it's just getting the pictures, talking to people, and a lot of it's meeting people that I've followed
Over the
on-
course of a year for the
the Instagram.
Yeah.
It's Twitter. You got kind of, but Instagram it's more personal because you can really reply and
Yep.
Although Twitter I can use the GIFs. Which I really like.
Just,
I really
here's a
like
response for you.
Those are fun.
And is Friday a pretty busy day? I mean, the race itself is Saturday. but-
Friday we start getting the notifications of getting tagged or stuff like that.
Yep.
Everybody's on their way.
Yep.
Coming in. Also monitoring in case anybody posts questions.
Yep.
You want to make sure I mean, lately a lot of people are posting on the marathon page, asking questions, what do we wear for, what do you wear? I'm coming up from...
Everything.
Right, yeah.
Bring it on.
So we spend time, join the support group. Or if someone's looking for a room, we're like, join the room and ride share.
We get that question a lot. Is that the best thing for people to do? Because people are going to hear this now and say, oh, I'm coming.
And we're going to be sharing it again, too. Because the best thing you can do is carpool. And runners are the best. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Right.
I did Reach the Beach several years ago. And I was the random person. And then we had another total random person from Massachusetts. Nobody knew. It was just, you needed a runner. You grab on. And... best friends. I mean, they're great. He came and ran one year too.
And right now, would you say most rooms, most houses for rent, most hotels, pretty much booked?
Pretty much, yeah. There's some that's kind of opening up, which typically we tell people that are worried about that coming in from out of town that have never done the race is literally a couple weeks before, even right now, stuff starts opening that
now
start.
It does,
And that's the other thing is really if you can't make it, please let us know.
Right.
Because I have friends who are now staying in Bangor currently and are going to drive over, but I'm like, you've got about 4 weeks. Things are going to open up. People are going to cancel those reservations, but you just have to keep looking.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But even if coming to Bangor, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's about an hour drive.
Right.
But
runners wake up early. It's fine.
And the biggest thing is like right now we're on just that push for if you can't make it, please cancel. Because there's people on waiting lists that are going to come. Don't wait. There's some that wait to see what the weather report's going to be.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
And you can't do that.
Assume it's going to be brutally cold, very windy, and a lot of snow.
Right.
And it might be better than that.
Because some people, it's free. It's not costing me anything. Well, it's not costing you anything, but there is cost to this.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
The locals are putting money into planning for 2,500 people.
Right.
They're making sure they have this, so out of their pockets, which you're there to help support the town.
Right.
That's right.
Well, it's grown
people,
so improbably fast. I mean, if this was still 50 to 100 people,
well,
it's a different thing.
It would be a totally different thing. It has become. It's a phenomenon. It is.
I mean, the cookie lady. I mean, really, if we say that got 2,500 people coming and she makes 2,500 cookies plus, make sure one or two.
Then I'll take care of it.
Right.
Because it's my turn.
Right. I think probably
it's my turn.
Year 2, she made like a batch. Like one cookie tray.
And then
everybody had
the
plenty.
cookie lady is also the soup lady.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
I've never had either.
If right around you come around the corner.
I know. I didn't do it.
Yeah, we're doing it totally
differently. We're doing
differently.
a different thing now.
HWYRT is doing it totally differently. We're
1
doing
mile
it
at
as
a time,
parade.
one stop at a time.
Are you run walking it?
Yeah.
probably tag team with you.
more than run walking.
Yeah.
More than run hanging.
Yeah.
Run talking. Run leaning.
That's actually
photo taking.
The first year I ran it, and then I more walked it over the several years. Walking it, you really get to experience a lot of people. You get to see and talk. It's one thing I've had to get used to with not being able to.
If you stick with us, if you want to posse up with us, you might win an Emmy. That's what can happen, right? Am I wrong, Brian?
Might is a good word.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
did
just
it
saying,
once.
I'm saying
That's
history
right.
has proven.
You might get to see an Emmy.
That was
we
still
definitely get to see
that's
one.
awesome, you guys.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
It's awesome only because you guys have been so good and have helped us out so much, and you've been a humongous supporter of our show, and that's a real thing. So thank you very much.
Well, you guys have really been our pod-ablers here.
All right.
I really think,
Pattie, what are the coordinates for people who need to follow the official Twitter and Instagram feeds for the Millinocket race?
It's Run Millinocket.
That's it?
On both of them.
On all the things.
It's Instagram and Twitter.
Instagram and Twitter. And on Facebook,
it's Millinocket Marathon.
Millinocket Marathon. And you can't swing a HWYRT runner without hitting one of these social platforms where you're posting.
You can't swing an Achilles tendon.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so people should do that. They should tag Run Millinocket.
They definitely should.
In all of their social media as they're training and getting ready for it, and join the support groups. And are those on the race Facebook or website page? Or how do you find out about
you
that
can
stuff?
Google it. You start Googling Millinocket Marathon. You'll usually get those up. I know we're going to be sharing them a lot more.
Yep.
You get a lot of people that will come across your page, but when it gets closer, that's when it's more active.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, how many races that you do that you just keep scrolling through?
Yeah.
You're not really stopping to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Until it gets closer, then you're like, okay, what's going on? Then you start getting blasted with, all this stuff. Because you do it too soon, all of a sudden someone just the other day, well, I saw something once.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Yeah.
is it? So making sure you get the really important stuff. But like I said, cancellation thing right now.
And if runners are coming for the 5th time or for the first time, the big thing is bring extra cash, spread it around.
Yep.
You're not going there to get anything. You're going there to leave a lot of stuff. Is that right, Brian?
That's right. And if you want to talk about your experience, at
Yes.
some point
Yes.
after the races,
This is a good one.
we'll be down at the Moose Drop at the end of Penobscot Street. Not the end of Penobscot Street, but the
Sort of where the
at the
banner is.
start of
the big intersection down there.
Yeah.
And we'll be in there and we'll be podcasting and we'll just be talking about stuff. And we want you to come in and tell your story.
I'll be giving out sweaty hugs to those who want that kind of thing.
Okay.
Is it really going to be sweaty?
No.
Frozen,
I didn't think so.
frozen hugs.
No frozen weird hugs. Frozen weird hugs. You can get those in the frozen food aisle. Pete's frozen weird hugs.
Nope.
No. Okay. Brian, when you edit the show, take that part out. Before we let you go, hockey player, list all the things you've broken. My father was a hockey player, and he broke everything, so just go ahead.
I really haven't broken that much.
Really?
It's more my neck and my back right now.
But you never did a rib?
No.
Never checked a finger into a board?
Our practice rink, if it was cold enough, the high school practiced outside, which
Yeah.
was next to the high school, and I believe it's a pool now.
That's awesome.
This is Northern Maine, Peter.
Yeah.
This
So
is
the
awesome.
colder it was guaranteed you're going to be practicing there. Because if not, we had
Yeah.
to pay for
Ice time?
ice time at
Zamboni.
University of Maine.
Yeah.
So
So you did it outside because it's free.
it was free, and
And you just had to
I
clear
was in
the...
high school, like typical high school kids. We
Did you
just,
have to clear like the branches and stuff that were frozen in
No,
the
this
pond?
was a rink. You went out and
Okay.
you
It was
flooded it.
maintained, yeah.
You had to flood it. And you're kind of lazy, so you just leave your gear in your vehicle.
No.
And so I got suited up and during practice.
Nope.
And yeah, I took a slap shot to the head and it shattered my helmet.
Oh my gosh.
Your
'cause
frozen helmet.
My frozen helmet. So I learned after that, don't
Yeah.
do that again. Because you kind of don't want your gear to warm up.
Why is that? Because it's going to smell bad? Okay.
And when it shattered, your helmet.
I was done practice though. 'cause
You
I didn't
were.
have another helmet.
You were out. But it didn't. Did it actually hurt you, or was it just loud?
No, I mean slap shots.
They can
They.
sting.
I mean, well, those hurt. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
didn't break anything from that.
No. But your helmet's gone. I recommend helmets.
Yeah.
I think they're probably pretty good.
You know, this is where all of your activities in your world combine, Patty, where accident reconstruction, investigator, ice hockey, running. I think I'm just going to wear a helmet all the time. I'm going to wear one when I
All right, but
drive.
we need to be clear. I'm not the investigator.
I'm-
My husband is. I just set it up.
You
Let's make sure.
participate. You're
Is
you're
it-
aware of it.
He's in town right now. He's dropped you off.
You know
Is
more
he,
about
I
it than
think
I
just
do.
saw him.
Is he recreating anything here in the library right now?
This interview. This accident of an interview.
If you were to suggest to Gary Allen, Gary, we should, during the weekend of the Millinocket race, hold a hockey tournament, what would he say to you?
Go shovel off the lake.
Yeah, go do that.
Go do. Just
Yeah, did you say go ahead?
You know, actually, I tried geting some alumni to do this.
Oh, anything?
No,
Nibbles?
no.
Hard to do?
We were actually splitting up teams for a while.
Yeah.
We were claiming who was going to be on the team with who.
I see a world where there's a tournament that we go to.
I think a pond hockey tournament up there would be
Sunday morning.
Yeah, Sunday morning.
Yeah.
That'd be really, I would go.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, make it happen.
Could we also do an ice fishing tournament at the same time?
I would totally go.
All
Oh,
of it.
yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it.
As long as it's frozen enough.
Get your Bob house.
Well, is it going to be frozen enough? That's a good question. It could
You
be.
know,
Oh, ideas are happening.
this could happen.
You think I can
Yes.
see you really turning on it
You have
right now.
skates.
I own my own skates.
Because all you need is skates and a stick.
I
for
own my
pond
own
hockey.
skates. They're
A
figure
helmet would be
skating
nice too. but-
Skates. They are. They're more like figure skating skates. They're not like true hockey skates.
Oh, toe picks.
I
Oh.
so envision you
They
as
were
a
so
figure
much cheaper.
skater,
They were
Peter.
so much cheaper, and I just needed for when my son was learning how to skate, just to get some ice time with him.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
I
we
tried
have
them
a
once.
beautiful
That's not-
outdoor rink in
that's-
Brookline,
Yes.
and after December, depending how cold it is, after December 1st, you can go up there. So I didn't want to buy, the Bauer, giant $500. I didn't want to. Come on.
They last a long time.
They do. You only need one pair, and you just got to keep them sharpened, and you're good. But
Yeah.
oh well. I would buy a pair.
Here's the
before-
things that I've learned.
Yeah,
Always tag Run Millinocket in
That's-
all of your social media posts.
that's the biggest one.
Your car has a black box in it, just like an airplane.
That one's frightening to me.
And I'm never playing ice hockey.
And we learned
These
about-
are all the things that
What
I've
else
learned.
did you learn about?
Oh, and also about Sea to Summit beer, specially made by Baxter Brewing Company.
It's a lager brewed with spruce tips and blueberry.
Thank you.
Spruce tips. He's coming to Millinocket, I heard. He's
Leading the crankle.
bringing the crank. Who else is leading the crankle?
Now you've ruined my surprise costume.
Spruce tips. Were you
That's
going to
me.
go as Mr. Spruce
I
Tips?
was.
You gonna go as a blueberry?
Yep.
Oh.
When do I not? That's really the question. Pattie Hines McNally, social force behind Run Millinocket. Thank you for
And
coming.
Millinocket native.
Thank you so much for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
What are you going to do with the rest of your day? You going to see any sights here in Boston? You're going to get the heck out of the city.
I'm gonna go for a run.
Peter, how great is that, Patty?
Pattie's unbelievable. We got to meet her husband, Bruce McNally, on the other side of that, who gave me all the secret hidden tidbits about the black box inside the
I
cars.
need to know so much more about accident reconstruction and the technology that's in my car that knows things that I don't know.
You just need to know
Yeah.
that the secret behind the black boxes, the so-called black boxes, it's all based on when airbags were mandatory, made mandatory, and they wanted more and more research based on when they are ignited, deployed. Yeah, what's causing them? How much time are they deploying at the right time? At the not the right time? Too early? Too soon?
Okay.
Too late?
So that was the original intention.
Yep, and they started creating a little mechanism that recorded information about how fast a car was stopping and
Okay.
what duration of time it was going from, say, 35, 40 miles an hour to 0. Is it 3 seconds? And then they just kept adding more and more memory to it, so it started recording more and more bits of information.
Well, and now all
around
our
an
cars
event.
have GPS in them and all this kind of stuff. So,
Correct.
So it's getting that information.
In many models, yes.
Wow.
It's fascinating.
Wow.
So that was phenomenal. Can't wait to see her in a few short weeks, just a month away. It's so great. And then we were just had a deluge of fans come by, and you were smart enough to grab them and put them all on mic. Do you want to hear that now? Because that's amazing that they all stopped by.
Let's hear them.
Let's do that.
Jeremy Shaw Munderbach.
Did you go for a run yet today?
I did. I got a nice little 5K in this morning.
Nice.
Just up the Comm Ave Mall and back on the river.
Very nice.
Are you coming back from an injury? Am I correct
Yeah.
about this?
A few weeks ago, I sprained my foot, which was
thank you.
not the most fun experience.
Oh, did you do it while running?
No. I had a lovely 8-miler that morning.
Yeah.
And then Corinne and I walked basically all over Boston and Cambridge. Got home, getting ready for bed, stepped on a running sneaker in the apartment, and twisted my
You just like
foot.
rolled it over?
Yeah. Oh. Like knew immediately that it was going to be all messed up.
A thing, yeah.
Where was it hurting?
Basically the side and bottom of my left foot.
So it wasn't your ankle. Like
Nope.
your ankle twisted probably, but
Yeah,
it was
probably, but it was
you, like, rolled the
definitely
foot.
the mid-foot sprain.
That hurts.
So are you gonna now only wear like construction boots in your house? Like what's the change, the modification to make
Don't
sure?
step on shoes.
Only steel-toed boots.
Stilts. I'm going to wear stilts now inside
Now,
your
see,
apartment.
that makes sense.
Like a 3-foot stilt would
if
be
you're on
amazing.
stilts and wearing the helmet like I'm gonna wear now forever,
Forever.
you're
So-
safe.
What I did though was I dropped a couple of pairs of shoes from the rotation, so I'm down to like 8 pairs of shoes in the house.
Okay. Now,
So-
is it running sneakers you're talking, or
Yeah.
just shoes total?
Just running sneakers.
That's a lot.
Smart.
Well, I mean, I use we have a pretty casual work environment, so I
Okay,
wear
so you're
sneakers
wearing-
to work.
Okay.
and
Are
then
you going to do
running.
the thing where you don't pretend the floor is lava and step only on shoes now to get to bed? Because that the game
That's
that you
actually
guys
a good idea.
yeah
That's how you can recycle used running shoes.
yeah you just build little
Make-
islands of shoes and you hop to them.
Yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
be careful.
Jeremy, you training for anything right now?
No. I think we're signed up for the Super Bowl Sunday 5-miler. I forget what that race is actually called, but we've run it a few times in a row.
Oh, I think I did that last year.
Yeah.
It was quite cold.
Yeah. It's usually cold. I usually somehow
February.
get a 5-mile PR every time, so
Nice.
I'll just continue working at that. I was originally going to try to bump up to another marathon distance just for fun around town since Corinne was running Chicago. But then as soon as I was ready to bump up to the half mark, I sprained my foot. So now I'm kind of in recovery mode.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So you're recovering. How are things feeling right now?
This morning's run went okay. It was my foot's still a little squidgy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what the correct term. I know crankle, but
No, this isn't crankle. This is a midfoot mess up.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's what you're suffering from, and that's hard.
And what you're telling me is, yet again this year, you're not coming to Millinocket. That's correct.
That is correct.
Too many
Jeremy.
trees out in their natural habitat.
There are so many trees up there.
Jeremy,
Someday we're going to blindfold him, put a bag over his head.
go with me on this. Go with me
Throw
on
him
this.
in a car
Don't
and
even
bring
come
him.
up for that. Come up for the crankle only.
I might do that.
Why wouldn't you do that?
Right.
It's the 6 hours both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's part of the adventure.
Yeah, but it'll be even more adventurous when he's rolling around in the back of a panel van with no insulation or carpet on the floor, all bound and gagged, not knowing where he's going.
Don't reveal the whole plan.
He's still not going to know what's happening. It's still
He's
gonna
one of
be
the
scary.
prizes for some lucky crankle member. We give you a Jeremy.
Take home a guest of the
You
program.
get a week of Jeremy.
That's good.
Good luck with your shoe islands.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming to visit us
Absolutely.
as we do a lightning round of interviews, and they continue now with our next guest.
Thanks for having me.
Who is it going to be, Jeremy? Who's our next guest? You get to pick.
You get to pick.
I guess let's go Corinne next, just since I mentioned her in the program.
All right.
See, producing the show already.
Wow, look at that.
Good job.
Hey, thanks for stopping in.
Thank you.
Corinne, you're up next. Little word of warning. Hard to beat how awesome Jeremy is.
Well, I mean, it usually is.
Right?
That's usually true.
It's a tough one.
Corinne, can you say your first and last name, please?
Corinne Griffiths.
And can you tell me what you had for breakfast?
I had cornbread and an apple.
Cornbread and an apple. Was that pre-made cornbread? Homemade cornbread?
Homemade. Jeremy made cornbread.
Wow.
Jeremy, you make cornbread? Yeah. Damn.
Wow.
The biscuits are better, actually, though.
Too bad he's not available.
Jeremy and Corinne should do their own podcast, and they should talk about baking and haircuts.
I think
We've
so.
been watching an awful lot of Great British Bake Off lately, so...
You're inspired. Let's do it.
We could do it.
Corinne-
Go ahead, Brian.
Corinne, congratulations on training for and completing the Chicago Marathon.
Thank you.
What were your goals for that race?
I was actually a little bit unsure going into it exactly what I wanted to set down as goals. I wouldn't have minded hitting it would have been just barely a BQ and not one that got me into the race, because there's no way I'm going to come several minutes under 3:35 right now. But I wouldn't have minded coming just under 3:35.
What had been your previous marathon best?
3:57 something.
Okay, and you were shooting for what?
3:35.
That's quite a
So you're only
change.
trying to take 22 minutes off of your marathon pace?
Super casual,
That's
yeah.
really fast.
I could do it with an e-scooter,
How?
I bet.
Wow. So what has changed in your training to make you think that this was possible? And in fact, it was possible because you crushed it.
Well, after doing Pinelands and focusing on distance again and just being out on trails, I kind of wanted to go back and try speed work. Ended up hooking up with the Heartbreakers and started working with both their training plan and going to their Tuesday morning sessions. And did that for a few weeks just to see how things were feeling. Sure. And the speed was starting to come back, so I was like, all right, maybe 3:35 is technically possible. And I came in just under 3:40, so I will take that.
Congratulations. That's huge.
That's huge.
That's huge.
It's weird. It hasn't really set in yet
Yeah.
that I am that much faster than I was. It was a 17-minute PR.
Right.
and
Does some of that have
it
to do with the
doesn't feel
course?
real.
Do you think the course helped you?
The course helps in some regard. The fact that it's very flat
Yep.
is helpful.
Yep.
The fact that it's very flat is also a little bit of a hindrance because there is no variation. Even if you're going over the bridges, which
It's still
sort
right
of
here, right?
constitute
Yeah.
the hills, you're going up maybe 20 feet or something like
Okay.
that at a time. So your legs are doing the exact same.
Oh,
So it's
see.
almost like running
for
on a
26.
treadmill.
Yeah.
There's no variation at all.
I think
right?
I would dislike that when I think about
Yeah.
it.
It was even more flat than I expected it to be.
So Chief Heartbreaker Dan Fitzgerald has often said to me, well, if you want to race faster, you have to train faster. Or if you want to run fast,
Right.
you need to run fast.
Right.
Yeah,
And
it
it
turns out
seems
that's
like-
pretty true.
It seems like you completely
Accurate.
proved that out. Yeah. So how much speed work were you working in during the weeks?
Doing Tuesday track stuff, and then most of my other day-to-day workouts were just very casual, easy runs. Keep it easy, keep it conversational sort of pace. The only other change that I made was during the long runs, starting to build in a few workouts in the middle of those. So build in more marathon goal pace miles there, or do the first 5-10 miles super easy and then end with marathon goal pace or faster.
Okay.
And I think that in particular helped.
Okay.
Certainly earlier on in the race, just being able to maintain a certain pace, and then towards the end I was slowing down a bit and walking through aid I still call them aid stations because I'm in an ultra mindset. Water stops.
Oh, right.
Walking through water
Survival.
stops.
right.
Yeah,
helps.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But then bringing my pace back down to
Yeah.
what my goal pace was after that. So it was
Wow.
helpful.
And other than cornbread and muffins or biscuits that Jeremy makes, did your nutrition change on this cycle at all?
Not a whole lot. I do tend to try to eat a little bit healthier and just make sure that I'm hitting nutrients
Yep.
a bit better, adding more stuff like nuts and the other healthy fats that I don't necessarily focus on outside of that.
And what about during race? What'd you actually take part in?
During the race, I was just doing gels. Again, it's kind of hard to go back to gels after the whole ultra
Yes, right.
aid station experience.
Yeah.
I do want to find a way to carry potatoes with me.
You have to have
During
people
the marathon.
strategically spud
Yeah.
placed, I
Right.
think.
And I'll typically wear shorts that have pockets so I could like put some in a baggie
Some
in my
Ziploc
pocket.
bags, yeah.
But if I'm traveling,
I do that with
can't
steak
boil
fries.
potatoes.
It doesn't give me the same result. I
I
don't.
don't know what you're saying.
Steak fries and Fritos? No.
Actually, I've had fries. Pineland, one of the aid stations had fries, just cold fries at one of the.
I just ate
stops.
everything that they had out there.
Oh yeah, that's the name of the game.
Right.
Just if you can keep eating and keep fueling, you'll feel better and you'll be
You'll
able
just
to
be
actually
fine.
complete it.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Not New York tomorrow. That's
Not
you.
New York tomorrow. I
Oh.
am nowhere near ready to go that long again for a little bit. I'm gonna enjoy the kind of interstitial period before deciding what to
Yeah.
sign up for again.
All right. Are you looking at anything in the spring, or you're not even thinking about that right now?
Maybe spring. I do want to take the next few weeks to see how things are feeling, see if I actually want to go back into distance training that soon. Although I am also thinking about maybe signing up for Anchor Down again next
Okay.
August.
What
and the
distance?
registration for that I think is early January. So I might
Had
have
you
to
done
make
that
a
this
decision.
year or was it the year before?
Year before.
Okay.
And what would the distance be that you'd be going for?
I'd like. See, this is where I'm hesitating. I think I think I'd like to do the 12-hour again, but shoot for 100K in that time.
Oh my
And
lord.
this is in training for the Moab 240?
Oh, yeah.
My. Oh
No,
my.
no, no, no.
Oh my.
No. Although Candace, the woman who runs those races, puts on 3 200s. The Moab is one of them. The Tahoe 200 does seem interesting just because it's gorgeous. But it's also just so long. I don't know
Yeah.
why I'm saying this out
You'll
loud.
be so sleep deprived during most of the race, you won't even be able to take in the.
Oh, yeah. People literally hallucinate
yeah,
during
yeah.
a lot of those.
Well, enough about that. We're sad we won't be seeing you in Millinocket, but
No.
maybe some other year.
Maybe.
All right.
I get a little bit closer every year to saying yes.
Well, we were just saying to Jeremy, just come up for the Crankle and then go home.
Yeah, just casual 6-hour drive.
It's 12 hours of driving, 2K of running.
Yeah.
Why not?
Perfect.
It's not even 2K.
It's not even a 2K, and just wear a costume and shush.
Yeah.
It's
Why
like the
wouldn't you?
ultra of driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yes. The
That sounds
2K
great.
is the aid station.
Oh, perfect.
Treat it that way.
Yeah.
And I will just add that Corinne, Boston's running unicorn, has contributed a fantastic
Oh, it's so
prize
good.
for
It's
the
so good.
Crankle.
Don't describe it. It's so good. Save it. It's so gorgeous.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Corinne.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Is this thing on? What do I do with my hands? So what was the question?
Say your first name and last name,
Daniel Adamits.
and then tell me what you had for breakfast.
Miles and miles of running.
2 slices of When Pigs Fly apple walnut banana bread
Ooh.
with almond butter, and then a tab of caffeinated noon in approximately 16 ounces of water.
Was that before or after running?
Before.
Strap on your feed bag. Come and get it.
How was your run today, Dan?
It started chilly, but it was absolutely beautiful. I didn't look at my watch for the first 8 miles, which was great and freeing, and it felt good. My roommate came out with me, so I actually had a little bit of companionship when running. So I would say it was a solid day that ended with 2 miles of what I like to call zoomies.
What's a zoomie?
It's when John only wants to run 8 miles and you want to run 10, so you drop about a minute and a half off of your pace for the last 2 miles.
Why? So that you're not leaving him hanging around in the parking lot for a long time?
Yeah, sure. That works. It could just be because I want to go fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
When I drink too much coffee, I get zoomies, Brian, but I think it's a very different thing.
I think so.
Could be.
You're zooming around looking for the porta potty, I think.
Yeah,
is
it
what's
could give you
Brian-
the trots.
Little Trotsky, Brian, mea culpa time. I failed to tell people in the previous show that one of the people I saw around Jamaica Pond a week or so ago was Dan.
Well, I
because
think you were hallucinating.
I was not able to discern human form except for the giant November Project tag that was so pronouncedly on his chest. But it turns out it was Dan. Dan, you look great when I saw you.
I appreciate it. I was kind of in the hurt tunnel at that point,
You did-
post
nope.
5K, but
No sign of it. You looked phenomenal.
Dan, are you training for anything specific currently?
at the moment I am trying to PR my half marathon in Vegas for the Rock and Roll Half during November Project Summit.
Fantastic.
Clock is on. When's that happening? 2 weeks?
15 days.
Here we
15
go.
days, so you're
Here we
going to
go.
zoomy out in Vegas. What's the weather look like out there?
The average is supposed to be at that time of day, 4:30 p.m. start, 65 and clear, maybe
Probably
70.
dry. It's probably pretty
Hopefully
dry
not
out
too
there.
humid, right? Yeah, it is the desert.
It's gonna be dry. It's gonna be dry like a solid biscuit.
65.
Like one of Jeremy's biscuits that were.
So how does that compare to the next race you're running after that?
The next race has the potential to be longer. That decision has not been made yet. Still toying with that one, but it's going to be probably about 55 to 70 degrees cooler.
Where's that going to be?
It's at this little town in Maine called Millinocket for the Millinocket Marathon.
Nice.
Where's the finish line? Which way to the finish line? You can't get there from here.
Because you're going to do the half or the full or both.
Well, I mean, technically, if you run the full, you did the half, right?
I think you've done it.
I mean, that's how math checks
That's
out.
how I do. I like the half, and I like to think about doing it. Like I'm going to do it again this year for the first time in 2 years, and that way I'll have finished my full. It just took me a while.
What's
Does
your
the
time,
clock
Peter?
keep going?
Yes.
2 years. Yeah, okay. I did a marathon in 2 years.
Yeah.
That's fine.
What's wrong with that?
I
mean, you did it.
I'm supporting
point to
it.
point.
Yeah. You did
it's
it.
just the second
Course
loop.
doesn't change.
Your Earth keeps moving no matter what, man.
That's true. Kipchoge does it in 2 hours. You do it in 2 years. It's fine.
Are we seeing you at the Crankle?
Yes.
Are we seeing you in costume at the Crankle?
I bought a costume yesterday.
All right.
Wow.
Is it going to be lighted? He's not giving away.
Details are not
giving
being
an answer.
disclosed at
That's
this point
smart.
in time.
That's smart. Okay, you don't know what spruce tips looks like, though.
I'll show you something. I'll show you some spruce tips before we go. I'll show you. Dan, this is really exciting, man. I can't wait. Go crush the rock and roll.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to
represent.
go sub 90 for the first time in my life.
Woohoo!
So
It's going to be great.
How is ultra training different than half marathon training?
it's much more enjoyable. The half, that is. Well, I haven't been on trails recently, which it's a little disappointing, but
Yeah.
if you're going to be pounding pavement for 13 miles, you probably want to get used to that. The pace is a lot faster for the shorter races, of course. I'm not in the woods for 4 hours at a crack.
Right. Your weekends are different.
Definitely different. The hydration still needs to be a factor, but I'm not bringing 4 hours, 5 hours worth of food with me.
Yeah.
I'm not ingesting 7,000 calories a day
Right.
on a regular basis. That's a real stat. Yeah.
That's a lot. I should
Yeah.
count.
I had to start bringing multiple meals and extra protein shakes with me to work every day, because if I didn't eat enough, I would start getting lightheaded at 3 or 4 o'clock.
Oh, I would eat my breakfast at home, and then all my snacks and all my lunch would be eaten by about 11 in the morning.
Yeah,
And then I would
and-
have to get more food
Yep.
during the afternoon because I'd eaten everything that I normally would eat.
And that was when I had a really active job working with athletes, going through lifts and practices and running warm-ups and cool down. So I was on my feet all day, every day.
All right.
So yeah. So the food bills are less.
So this is cheaper and more relaxed.
Yep.
I am so hungry from
All right.
listening to you guys.
I know.
I could do 7,000 calories right now.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
What the?
Wait, what was that guy's name?
Spruce tips?
Nope.
Lance Mallory. We're not talking about Lance Mallory today. He's not ready to be here.
Kibosh on.
Oh, Lance Mallory makes Jeremy Sean Wonderbeck laugh. I didn't think I knew that. I'll see you up at the Crankle, Jeremy.
Too much.
Dan, I would have recognized you around JP. I don't know what Peter was doing. He wasn't paying attention. Gotta be focused on your fellow runners. Can't just be all navel gazing. That's selfish.
Okay.
Hi,
Thanks, Lance.
Sean.
Sean,
Hi, Lance.
Can you say your first and last name, please?
I'm Sean Clark.
So you have a funny story, only in that you came by to see the recording of How Is Your Run Today very early in on your run, and now you've been here for so long.
I
Been
had
here longer than your
I
run.
had this planned completely. It's going to look weird on Strava. But,
So describe your day thus far.
my day involved waking up, opening the laptop, watching the Abbott Dash to the Finish Line 5K in New York City.
Oh, wow.
As I made the bagel and an egg and avocado for the
Nice.
bagel. And then my girlfriend came back from her run, Allison, and
Hi, Allison.
had some time together. And then I ran over here, and as Peter and I discussed, that's not very far.
You think it's far, Cambridge to here, but it's how would you do, a mile and what?
Mile, maybe 40.
Yeah.
So
This is the problem with Boston.
it's too small.
It's too small.
So you mean your
can-
running today wasn't supposed to just be a mile?
It's not clear what my running today was supposed to be. I'm not technically training
Okay.
for anything.
It can be anything.
I don't have a plan.
Okay, so then running a mile and then standing around
feels good.
in the podcast studio here at WGBH.
It's shorts
so-
weather in here.
That's
so
true.
it's
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 Totally
actually
shorts
not
weather.
bad out there. It was a little chilly in the morning, but it actually got okay in the sun.
Yeah, the sun is now my friend
Yes.
instead of my enemy. First run this year.
And you're wearing the 2017 New York Marathon shirt, a race I was signed up to do. I had to bail. You ran it. It was disgusting. Talk about that.
It was a little bit damp, and still a 30-minute
Did it rain the whole time?
PR. It rained off and on.
Wait, you ran a 30-minute PR?
I did.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I mean,
Were you-
you set the bar low enough.
Well,
It's-
not at all. I mean, that's
it's credible.
you dropped over a minute per mile pace. I mean, that's incredible.
the first time was Chicago, where it was about 80.
Okay.
So
Wow.
40s and rainy was better.
Was your training considerably different? I would expect.
Considerably more. I believe for Chicago, my longest run had been 14 miles.
Ooh.
It was my first marathon. I was living in Vermont. It was very difficult to do long distance because everything was uphill,
Yeah.
It was every workout was a quality workout, as
which
you
doesn't
say.
work out.
Have you run Boston?
Everyone loves to ask that, including when we came back from running Berlin Marathon, the immigration
Oh my gosh.
agent at Boston.
A little question for you there?
Yeah, we tell him why we were traveling internationally. We ran a marathon. The first question, so have you done Boston?
Wow.
Makes me,
Does it make your blood boil?
yes,
As opposed to
a little
clot?
bit. I
Yeah.
think it's on the BAA to not tell people how hard it is
Right.
to run the Boston Marathon.
Well, I've participated twice, but I am very, very quick to say, as soon as I say that, though, I say, I didn't qualify.
Oh, a charity runner. Charity.
Just charity runner.
Yeah, charity.
It's like, if anybody knows anything, you have to be really, really, really fast.
It doesn't seem like people know that, though.
I
They
agree.
think-
They
they
think,
think
well, you
you
live in
live there,
Boston.
so
Oh, you
you
just get to go do
run.
it. But even if you are fast, to your point, Brian, there's a lot of people who are fast, and there's a lot of slots being filled before you can get there. And
Right.
good
Yeah,
luck.
people who are very fast don't get in.
Have you thought about the charity aspect just to get in to raise some money and to do the run?
So I would prefer to not have to raise money.
Well, yeah,
and I run with a running group in Cambridge called Community Running that, like many of the running groups around here, gets a few entries every
Yeah.
year. So I've been unsuccessful the last couple of years at applying, writing my personal statement for why I deserve.
Yep.
But then it's turned out I've been very grateful that I did not get those bibs, and I've cheered for my fellow runners who slogged through 2 years ago.
2 years ago was horrible.
It was rough.
I got hypothermia cheering for them.
I spent a lot of time inside that day.
Yeah, you did.
Yep. Peeling off clothes and then putting them back on again to go cheer.
Well, you're a
again.
young man, if I may say, and you have many years in front of you. You're going to get in.
That's my hope. My hope is to get slightly faster and much older and then qualify.
That's all it is. That's all. It's just a waiting game. You're playing the long game on this one.
And maybe the marathon will decline in popularity as it has.
I think
I wouldn't count on that.
it won't really do that.
Count on getting older. That's-
Yeah, I would
You
say
know
older
that's gonna happen.
first before popularity wanes. Tell me, is there another race that you've dream of? That you've done Berlin, you've done Chicago, you've done New York, Tokyo.
That I dream of. Tokyo, maybe. I'm accidentally doing all the majors. So that's
Whoopsie.
That's, yeah.
Whoopsie, I did London. Whoops.
Did not do London yet. That one,
Anytime now.
even almost harder to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like 1% chance.
And not Millinocket.
You know, I think I'm just experimenting with different categories of races now.
Yeah.
So running this 6-hour race to see what that feels
Yeah,
like.
describe
Oh, yeah,
this.
talk about that.
I think listeners need to know what this race is. It's the Turkey Trot.
The Tarky Trot.
Tarkey
Turkey
Trot.
Trot.
Trail animals.
Brian.
Trail Animal Running Club out here in eastern Massachusetts. And it is, what are the options?
Just one 5K loop or as many 5K trail loops as you can do in 6 hours.
It's a very personal choice then.
It's totally up to me, so that feels empowering.
Will you have a playlist that's 6 hours long, or do you go nude? Do you go
No.
ear nude?
I don't use that phrase, but
I wouldn't.
you did.
Well, yeah, but That was then.
Does Lance Mallory say you're nude?
Well, Lance tends to not wear as much clothing as perhaps he should. Skimpy is how I would describe my wardrobe, Brian. But yeah, no, I like to listen to some classical music while I run. Sometimes the tempos, especially in the string section, really get my stride going.
I could see that. I hope I don't.
I need Lance. I need a little time off of Lance. I'm going to be honest with you. I think we all feel that.
I agree.
Okay.
So the Tarky Trot, are you looking at the one 5K loop, or are you looking at as many 5K loops as you can do in 6 hours?
I signed up for the more popular 6-hour option.
And have you run ultras before?
I have not run ultras before, and I don't think this will wind up eventually counting as an ultra because I won't get in, well, in terms of mileage.
You don't think you're going to go 26.3 on this?
I'm fairly certain even the top finishers get to, 27.9.
Yeah.
That's the top finishers.
Those are the top finishers.
So the course must be very challenging.
The course is 400 feet of elevation, goes to the highest point in Winchester, which of course is not so high.
I don't want to do that.
It's like the Fells.
No.
So you're running up a hill and down every time, basically. Not a huge hill, but constant repetition.
I want
and steep.
Flat. I want to try.
Massachusetts traily.
And trails. I mean, rocks, roots.
Scrub.
Bear traps. All that kind of stuff.
Well, there is an old Packard, the skeleton of an old car in the woods there that you come across.
That's creepy.
That you're going to see at least 20 times.
200 times.
Or 200 times.
6.
Okay, well, good luck on the Tarky Trot.
Keep us posted on that. Let us know how you do.
I will. It was inspired.
Is that a traditional Tarky Trot day? Is it on Thanksgiving Day or the day before?
No, it's 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from today. I think, as you realize, the Tark runs are on Saturdays, unlike Sundays.
Yes.
That's why I missed the Fall Classic.
We'll be looking for a stat chat that day from you with a photo.
Always triple check your race date.
Are you supposed to be at a race right now, Brian? I feel like you're late for something.
Yep, I missed one today.
Good luck on the rest of your run today, because I feel like you might do a little more.
I'm going to try to push myself a little farther.
Well, it was good to have you, Sean. Thank you for coming out, and say hi to Allison for us. He's going to leave now.
Bye, Lance.
Bye, Lance. Bye, Sean.
Bye, Lance.
Bye, Sean.
Bye, guys.
Brian, I think this was episode 178 of How Is Your Run Today with Brian Gould and Peter Villa. Music is by Jeff Cronenberg. Anna Brooks is our social media guru and was on site today. Anna Brooks, yay! And Andrea Bonnie Gould is our artist in residence.
Peter, let's support our sponsors. That's cityrunningtours.com, cityrunningtours.com. Use coupon code HWYRT to receive 10% off.
Nice.
And Endeavor Run, ENDEAVORUN.com, and use code MILE, M-I-L-E, on checkout for free shoes.
I can't get over the free shoes thing. Endeavoron.com.
Endeavoron.com.
Do it.
Peter, join us every Saturday with your Stat Chat. Let us know where you ran, how the weather was, and please include a sweet, sweet photo and put that up on any social media platform of your choice. Just tag us, will you? Tag us at HWYRT.
Yeah, put us on new platforms that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
On the HoloNet.
Put us on Twitch.
No.
Why
Twitch
not?
is tough.
Twitch is fine.
I can't find it.
Vine us.
Yeah. Friendster.
Can you Vine me?
I Vine you on Friendster, yeah.
Alibaba, whatever.
Fine. Alphabet soup.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Snap us.
Brian, good luck in your next week of training. I'm rolling into week 14 like a freight train.
I know you are.
Clyde Army. And Lance Mallory.
Oh.
Nope.
That's the end of the show.
End of the show now.
Good night.
What?
Okay.
Can I get a recording?
Which one do you want to do?
So, whether you happen to be just traveling while in a train... or you're a business traveler just trying to fit in... Oh, my God. Or if you're just Oh my God.
Daniel.
Daniel.
The show's 40 hours long.
It's not my fault.
We're just going straight into credits.
Go ahead.
Hasta la vista.
Baby. Too much land.